luxury experience for parents. They have couches everywhere. They have a clean concession stand.
So Brandon and I actually, maybe we're not the best parents ever, but we dropped our kids off at Defy and we went to the new casino.
Yeah.
Legends, something or other.
The one at Legends.
Yes.
Our friend helped.
Your kids are that age though.
They are. They're great. They're fine.
They're drop-off age.
Totally. Yeah. And we went there. We had a cocktail. Brandon got a snack. We had a drink.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, we still have an hour. Like the kids were there for an hour and a half, jumping and doing whatever the heck. I'm like, just stay together. They both have phones, and we went and had a little date ourselves.
That girl told me it was an hour and 25 minutes. I said, angel amongst us. You were telling me you are going to tell my kids when it's time to go? She's like, yeah, it's the rules. I was like, oh, well.
Yeah.
Take me
So we had like a timer.
Woo! But I just have to compliment Defy. Thank you guys for providing a clean, normal space to take your children with a healthy amount of time. My kids walked out of there like I was taking them out of the club at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Baby fawns.
Yeah.
They were hungry.
Jello legs.
Dax was crying, but in like the good way. Like he got told he was pretty in the bathroom a lot, you know? And like Kane was just like, oh, hell of a night, guys. And he like cheers the place.
Fist bumped each other.
No, literally. Like they were just like, whoa, wow, what a night, guys.
They're baby Sigma guys.
I know.
Yes.
They really are.
Yes.
Proud of it.
But yes, Defy, I love Defy for kids.
So yeah, the spring break bougie kids. I think that's where we were going with that.
Yeah.
I'm making bougie kids.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, no, we don't wear graphic
I
shirts.
know. I gotta reel in McKinley. You know what? I love how crazy she is though. This morning she had on like a sequin jacket with a sequin skirt with sparkle leggings, socks pulled up to her knees, and Ugg boots. And I was like, sick, let's go.
Yeah.
You
I
look
love
awesome.
that you do that. My parents didn't care what we looked like, and that
yeah, but that was the,
Oh, McKinley
that was
had
the
her hair
era though
curled.
in the 90s. They didn't care if your hair was combed, if you looked like they had mullets. I mean, they have them now too, I guess.
They were like, chop her hair out of her eyes.
It was just a horror scene.
Like, do you remember when your parent brought you to the hair salon?
Yeah, right.
And they were like,
The kitchen.
all my mom would say was, get it out of her eyes.
And then they would
That's
chop.
a very broad term to talk about a hair design.
Yeah.
Get it out of her eyes? That could mean they could have done worse.
Might
frankly,
I say
buzzed
that
it all.
made you who you are today?
Oh, it fundamentally did, because I relate with Michael coming out bougie, because Michelle obviously
Same.
always looks great. She always does. But I mean, she is
Say
like,
more.
she will budget. She was always like very conscious of their finances. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she did not give Michael an inkling that they were like doing
Well
well
off.
off.
Yeah.
No, so he came out of the actual vagina, just walked out in a tracksuit, gold chain, don't know where he got it.
He
Maybe
calls
from
it
a tooth.
drippy.
He
He
might have,
calls
like,
it
crawled
drippy.
up.
I want
I
to go
would
to that
take-
store. It was like Saks Fifth Avenue.
When
That's
I was
why my
growing
dad
up,
is like, you have.
and we went to Mervyn's, and it was like 3 short sleeve V-necks for $21. I was like, I want 3 white ones.
No.
And my mom's like, that's it? I'm like, "For this
I
school year."
refused.
Yes.
And I even told my
That's
mom.
taste though.
I told my mom, I will not go to school if you put me in any of these. I won't go. And she didn't believe me, and I did not go. I was very ornery. But then I got to go to Nordstrom's. So who won?
I guess Rachel won.
I think if I told my parents that I wasn't going to school,
I would have a
I would
black
not
eye.
be here today. You would have had an empty chair and a lot less personality in the world. That one's for you, Mom. If I would have told, I remember being born like that, truly, and I got
You remember
into my
being born?
mom's just
Yes or no question.
Okay.
Your yes or no to hairless body.
Yes.
Is love blind?
Yes.
Alcohol at a kid's party.
100%.
Crop tops for moms.
Yes.
In-law shit talking.
No.
Foot fetish.
Meh. No.
Role play.
Depends.
Kids dressing themselves.
No.
Plastic surgery.
Yes.
Bodysuits.
Yes.
Machine Gun Kelly or Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson, probably. Or Megan Fox. Jimmy Fallon. He's not in there. Well, I don't know if he's smart, so. Very funny.
He's got the energy.
But the funniness, does that make up for the
Yeah, it does.
smartness?
All right. Who is your least favorite couple from Love is Blind?
Couple. Well, Bartice, what was her name? Nancy. That was painful to watch. It made me sweat. I did smell like cat pee watching that because that was just, he was not even halfway in it, and her whole family was there, and they were yelling at him, and it was so uncomfortable. But it was great to watch. I mean, I was there with my orange chicken watching that for sure.
Mm-hmm. Who's the bigger doucher, SK or Bartice?
SK. He was a snake in the grass. Raven deserves so much better. I am a huge fan of hers. She's gorgeous. Her eyes she's like a siren. Oh my gosh, you can't do her dirty. Raven, come on the show, talk about SK. We'll have some cocktails. Huge fan. I love Raven.
Sex on the first date.
No,
Sex on the second date.
no,
Sex on the third date.
no. Well, depends on.
18th date? How
I'm pretty prude, you guys. You better come with it.
What is the best excuse you've ever heard of for being late to a party?
I've ever heard
Or used?
or used. Well, I'm always prompt, I feel. But I feel like the worst excuse I ever heard was, there was one that included one of our children. The mom that was supposed to be picking up our child, her twin sister was in jail, and she was dealing with that. So she sent her ex kind of boyfriend that she was talking to and her son to go pick up our son. That was a terrible day.
Actually, what was the best excuse?
Oh, I don't have one. My friends are always on point.
I want to say, I really want to talk about your friend thing that's happening
Oh, yes.
probably right now,
Yeah.
because I have two stories that
Okay.
are incredible.
So I have a friend who is going under the knife today for some new,
To get smarter.
to get smarter.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know how smart though. This is another thing. I don't know how smart she's going. There's different variations of
Yeah.
smartness, but she's getting smarter today, and I requested.
She's going Mensa.
She's getting real smart. I requested for my friend who is driving her to video record her coming off of the anesthesia and being a human, asking questions,
Yeah.
telling stories, whatever. What are your stories?
So I have two stories about this. My first one is I actually went and I got a really bunk nose job. I won't say who it is because it was local. But I guess when I was coming out of anesthesia, I was crazy because 6 years later, I fell off a haystack and broke my leg. And when I went to the recovery room, the nurse goes, "Did so-and-so do your nose job like 6 years ago?" And I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "Oh, I was your recovery nurse." And she just started cracking up. And I go, "What did I do?" And she goes, "I can't tell you."
No, record it. I want it.
I know. But my sister said on the way, my sister's the one that took care of me because my husband was deployed. He came home to a real bunk nose. My sister said, I was like, "Katie, somebody in the recovery room was running around trying to show their butt to everybody and moon the doctors." And I'm pretty convinced
It was you.
that it was me. And then I went to get smarter in Dallas
Avi.
a couple of years ago for my anniversary present.
what a
And
guy.
my anesthesiologist walked in. He was like this really handsome, full cologne. By the way, you're not supposed to wear cologne as an anesthesiologist. He smelled like a walking bottle of Aquadigio, this Indian guy,
Ooh.
puffy jacket, chains. He was like, "Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? You ready to get up, Michelle? You ever did drugs, girl?" I was like, "What?" He was like, "You ever did drugs? I'll give you more. It'll wear off faster." And he was just, my mom and I were sitting there like, is this a fake doc? Is Ashton Kutcher here? Are we on Punk'd?
Yeah.
And then I came out of my surgery and I was like, 7 o'clock on the dot, I'm in my drop top. I was like singing Usher.
Yeah.
And the anesthesiologist goes, "Oh God." And he put his headphones on. He goes, I left my music on. He usually would put on like classical music while people were having surgeries.